Hello and welcome to week 3 of Riffoween. So this year for this event, we have been doing retail training videos, and this week I've got a good one for you. It's a little different. It's actually part of like a bigger set of training videos or longer training videos, like one segment, but it's the only one I could find. It's a training video from Old Country Buffet. So it's really cheesy. So it's like one segment. It's for the person working at the carving station. It starts, like I said, it's like part of a fuller training video, and it's like all I could find on the internet of it. So I couldn't give you more. It's plenty long enough for our purposes. It's just a little under 11 minutes, so it actually works out great for us. But it's it's part of a training video, and it cuts off a little. It cuts off like maybe like 3 seconds before it should. But again, it's the only cut of it I could find. So we're going to work with what we've got here. So yes, let us dig into this incredibly cheesy training video, shall we? Let's shall.
Your other shift duties.
We're just going to start partway through.
Shift duty, greeting and serving guests.
Good evening. Friday enough to eat today?
Boy, I'll say.
Well, that's
No, actually, the buffet's empty.
I think.
all right.
Making friendly conversations like this is a big part of greeting and serving guests.
And annoying them.
At other buffet-style restaurants, guests often feel they're on their own.
Which is how they like
Paid
it.
for the meal, no one pays much attention to them.
Yep, exactly how we like it.
Hey, we work hard to make sure our guests never feel that way.
And feel incredibly uncomfortable and awkward.
Spend a little more time with guests and other team members. That means
Maybe a
you
little
have
too
a
much
great
time.
chance to make them feel welcome and appreciated.
And
By
abused.
greeting the guest warmly and holding brief conversations as you serve them, you say to our guests, "We're
I don't
glad
like
you're
you."
here." Let's take a closer look at greeting guests. Every conversation you hold with a guest should begin something like this.
Good evening.
Or,
Hi, how are you?
once you've greeted the guest,
Or-
start a brief conversation. Try asking a question the guest can answer in a sentence or two. You might ask something like this,
Do I make you horny, baby?
or this,
Did you catch a game last night?
or this.
Have you tried the lasagna? It's my favorite.
Or am I creepy enough yet?
Quick conversations with our younger guests, too.
Oh, no, please don't.
Children often
Please
play a
don't.
big part in deciding which restaurant their parents visit. We want them to feel welcome and special here, too.
And not creeped out at
So
all.
start conversations with children by saying something like this,
What grade are you in at school?
or
What
this,
school do you go
Have you
to?
decided what dessert
What is your home address?
or
What
this.
color car do your parents drive?
Fudge Sundays?
Once you've held a brief conversation, it's time to move on to the second half of this shift.
Yeah, you're gonna be in a Chris Hansen video real
Begin
soon,
by
pal.
asking,
What'd you get for some ham or beef?
Ham, please.
once guests have
You like some
chosen
rubber
what meat they
beef?
want,
What?
you'll carve a slice of it. Exactly what size of
I guess
slice
that's about
you'll
right,
serve
though.
will be a judgment call on your part, unless
Carve horizontally. It's totally conventional.
we
Not
don't
weird
limit
at
the kind
all.
we have. We do, however, manage it to reduce waste. Here are some guidelines for knowing how much meat to serve a guest. When your guest's plate has very little on it, carve a full cut. Lay it
Eat,
over
munch,
the
you too
portion.
thin. Eat.
Children usually prefer smaller portions. Carve them a smaller cut.
Try not giving children any of your meat,
Open
okay?
section of the
You
plate.
might end up under
Your
arrest.
guest's plate looks like this. Quarter cut or
Call them a fatty and shame them into eating less. It's for their own good.
sometimes guests will tell you exactly what size of cut or number of pieces they want.
I want
Other guests will
1.6
ask you to
grams.
Carve a slice thicker than our usual dime width. These guests all feel they're getting more when getting a
These
thick
guests cut into our bottom line. Give them as little meat as possible
cut
while making it
than
look like a
tender
lot.
piece of meat, which is why we carve dime thicknesses.
I have a cat in the room, so I might be a little distracted.
Like a half-inch slice of that roast beef, please.
Say
The
something
roast
like this.
beef, please. I've come from Soviet Russia.
Tender slices are more tender, though. Would that be all right?
Soviet Russia?
can always come
Meat
back
cuts
up
you.
somewhere.
Okay.
Of course, if the guest insists on a thicker slice, honor the request. No
And
matter
then
what the
tell them they
topic of
can't come back. They've had
conversation
enough.
Or what size slice you've served, You will end each guest contact with the same phrase.
How's that?
Get out now. Sorry.
Asking, how's that, makes sure guests are happy with the slice they received.
It makes them feel better about the inevitable food poisoning they will get.
Of a different meat, you can correct the situation promptly. Guests will sometimes ask you questions about the food we serve and how we prepare it.
Is it fully
Be
cooked?
ready for these questions. Make the most of opportunities.
Did you pull it out of the trash?
Menu items. If you are asked a question you can't answer, find someone who can answer it.
Sir, I'm just coming out of the restroom. I don't work here.
Good place to start. Your third shift duty is maintaining the carving station. As you carve and serve meats, your station quickly loses the cleanliness and appeal it had when the restaurant opened.
Not sure how much appeal it
Throughout
had
your
to begin
shift,
with, but
You will
okay.
complete routine cleaning and maintenance tasks to return your station to its original appearance.
Use the same damp rag day after day. It won't be a problem at all.
Wipe grease from the carving board with a paper towel. Grease and meat scraps spoil the appearance of your station. Wipe them away
Sometimes the meat
frequently.
spoils the appearance of the station because
Discard
it's,
the
well,
used
it's
paper
old country
towels in the
buffet.
wastebasket immediately. Keep the wastebasket in a spot that is. Then,
But it's
wipe the carving board, front board, and stainless steel surfaces with a clean, sanitized
and
towel.
wipe your butt. Okay,
Between
that was
groups
too
of
much.
Guests to wipe your carving knives and chef's forks with your clean, sanitized towel. Keep
Please
an eye
wipe
on
their
the
blood
walls,
off the
mirrors,
knives if you've cut them with
smooth
it.
and floors
This
around
guy
your
could be a
station
serial
to
killer,
make
I'm just
sure they
saying.
stay clean. If they aren't, use the time
Look,
between
if you're
guests
getting food on the walls, I think you're being a little too reckless with your
immediately
carving. That's
by
just what I'm
guarding
saying.
the area personally or putting up a wet floor
If a baby vomits on your floor, please guard it like
damp
this.
mopping the area with hot, soapy water, and leaving the wet floor line in place until the area is completely dry.
Yeah, do not clean your customers
sure
with
to
damp,
wash your
with
hands
warm
after
soapy water.
performing every
That's
cleaning
frowned
task.
upon.
Rinse out your towels frequently in sanitizing solution. Towels that aren't sanitized frequently not only are unappetizing to look
My urine doubles the
they also
sanitizing solution, right?
on the stainless steel. Maintaining the carving station includes maintaining
He
carving
looks like
knives.
he's ready to kill someone
Keep
with
your
it.
knives sharp and ready to carve. You use a grooved steel rod called, appropriately, the steel doesn't
We don't
actually
know.
sharpen the knife.
It got cut out.
It owns
Appropriately,
by aligning microscopic burrs on the edge of the blade.
it doesn't really matter because it's going to work either way. Why do we tell you
You'll
this?
notice that your knife isn't cutting as easily as it was when it was first
Again,
sharpened.
cutting horizontally
It's then
might
you
not
use
be the
the
most
steel
traditional way to cut meat.
restore the knife's edge. Here's
Saying.
how to use the steel. Note that
The
the process
steel.
is described for right-handed carvers.
Was it played by
You are
Shaq,
left-handed.
by Shaquille O'Neal?
Reverse the process. Before you start, put a carver's protective glove on each hand. Hold the steel in your left hand. Hold the steel so the point is up. You will
It really looks like he's
steel tipped up
contemplating
throughout this process.
going on a killing spree.
Hold the knife in your right hand. Place the blade of the knife furthest from you. The cutting edge should be facing up. Blade up the steel, working left to right. Ensure
Yes.
the entire blade
You will
is
do
drawn
nicely, my
across the
pretty.
steel.
You will kill all the rude
Next,
customers.
blade of the knife at the tip of the steel on the side closest to you. Again, the cutting edge should face up. Draw the
Guy's
blade
got to be on an
down
FBI watch
left to
list.
right.
He's just got to be.
This hones the other side of the blade's cutting edge. Repeat this process several times on each side of the cutting edge. Draw the blade over the clean, sanitized towel lying on the carving counter. Do not hold the towel in your left hand. Your
Hold it
carving
in your
knife
right
is
hand.
Sharp enough to slice not only through the towel, but all fingers. Remember, knives are never taken to the dish room for cleaning.
In fact, we never clean them
Once
at
you have
all.
wiped the steel with your clean, sanitized towel, return it to its appropriate place. Your fourth shift
Your
duty
butthole.
is assisting when the guest flow is
Again,
light.
maybe I went too far.
When there are no guests at your station and you're caught up on your own tasks, you'll assist line attendants.
So a typical day at Old Country Buffet, no
Your
customers.
final shift duty is doing whatever it takes to take care of the guests. At Old Country Buffet,
Sir, we're not
serving
allowed to do
guests
that,
is
sir.
our #1 priority.
No, I don't have protection for that.
You have
No,
many
sir, it's not
opportunities
allowed.
throughout your shift to lend a helping hand to our guests. Every time you offer that helping hand, chances are you increase guests.
Just be careful how you offer that helping hand to our children, our child guests, please.
Shift duties, let's take a minute or two to look closely at something you need to be aware of.
According to the timestamp, 2 minutes or 2. It's 2 minutes.
As a carver, you work in an area with a high potential for accidents. Sharp
Yes,
knives, grease
accidents.
from the hand, and the rush of a busy
This
shift
guy has a lot
can
of
sometimes combine
accidents.
to create a disaster. That's why you need to.
Well, they're at Old Country Buffet, so the disaster's already
There are a few
happening.
things to keep in mind. Treat your knives with respect,
Call them
They are
sir and or madam.
honed to an edge that cuts through meat with only a little pressure. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter to the knife if it's cutting through a ham or your finger.
I'm really upset
Grab for
about
a
that.
falling knife. Let it hit the floor. In your
The
haste
knives
to
hit the
prevent it
floor.
from
Let the
falling,
knives hit the
you
floor.
stand a 50-50 chance of grabbing the blade, not the handle. Take extra time and care when you're washing knives. When both your
Make
hands
sure-
and the knives are wet,
Make sure the
Easy to
water
slip
is
if
running
you're hurrying.
constantly.
slow down and complete the job safely. Never place knives in
Things about to
bathtubs,
overflow.
Lexans, or sinks full of soapy water. Use only sharp knives. Believe it or not, dull knives are more dangerous than sharp knives.
And harder to kill with.
Because you have to work harder to get a dull knife to
As
cut,
he knows so
the
well.
chances of cutting yourself or a guest are much greater. Finally, be aware at all times of where the
Sir, get your hands away from the
Without
station, you
realizing
creep.
it, guests may move their
I'm the
hands
creep here,
in the
thank
path
you.
of your knife. Keep an eye out for this potential. In this video,
Protect.
we've examined your shift duties other than carving meat. Your shift duties are the things you will spend the majority of your time doing.
Hence,
Once again,
duties.
Here are the shift duties we've
Duties.
examined in this greeting and serving guests,
Creeping them out.
maintaining the carving station, assisting
And then that's just where it cuts off. It's just I don't know. I don't know if they didn't have the whole tape or if they just they stopped capturing too soon. Anyways, that was our Old Country Buffet training video. I think you may have seen it on the internet before. The guy's it's a little weird. The guy's got a little bit of it's an interesting video. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you're having a good time for this. Get a more oomph into that. And if you enjoyed that, you should check out some of my scripted content. I have several movies, some shorts. You can check them out at FireRiffs.com. Link in the description in case you can't remember that incredibly complex description. If you are enjoying this, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Let the algorithm know that you like it, so maybe it'll push it out to some more people. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and ring the bell so you get all the alerts for when I upload stuff, which isn't super frequent, so all the more reason why you want an alert to let you know the rare occasion I do. Oh, and I did finally finish scripted short of Shy Guy that is available on my YouTube channel. So also check that out. Again, scripted stuff's almost always gonna be better than improv stuff. It just is because I have time to think about it and really write something good. And yes, I hope you had a good time, and I will see you next time. Good evening, everyone.